Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, we're on location in downtown Pittsburgh at the Fairmont, where Porter Airlines is rolling out the welcome mat to Pittsburgh's business community. The Canadian airline recently started service. We'll find out what that's all about. But along the way, we'll also learn about a new transportation option in our region. It's called the Autopod. Imagine a cross between a pedicab and an electric bicycle. Then we'll wrap things up with an update on the Regional United Way campaign and PNC's unusual approach to put two co-chairs in charge of leading the charge for Pittsburgh's business community. But first, why Porter picked Pittsburgh. Bob Deluce is president and CEO of Porter. Welcome. Good to have you in Pittsburgh.
Bill, thank you very much. We appreciate the invite to be here.
Yeah, Porter, obviously a new name here in Pittsburgh. What can you tell us about the airline?
Well, we're now an airline that's just entering its 10th year of operation. We have 26 aircraft, and Pittsburgh's actually our 24th destination. So we're pretty pleased to be here. We started service on September the 21st. We're just a little bit over a month operating from Pittsburgh, but there are good opportunities ahead, and we're really looking forward to increasing our service.
So where's home base for Porter? Where do you operate out of?
Porter's main base of operation is at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. It's situated on a small island just offshore from downtown Toronto, and literally 5 minutes from the hub of the city, and connected by an under-channel pedestrian tunnel and also a ferry. So literally it takes about 6 minutes or less to get across by walking, moving walkways both directions, or you can use the ferry, and that's a couple minutes or less.
Oh my goodness. So you're actually right out there in Lake Ontario? You must have a great view of the city.
The island itself is purpose-made as an airport back in 1939, so it's existed there for a period of time, and ideally located, probably the best urban airport anywhere in the world, and we've made that home base now since 2006, and we've grown from a couple of aircraft and one destination now to 24 destinations and some 1,400 team members, along with 26 aircraft.
I've never heard of any airport, even in the middle of the city, that has a 6-minute walk to downtown.
Well, you can literally walk downtown. Some people bike, some people take cabs, some people are, use shuttle buses and streetcars, but it is well connected and very, very convenient.
So was that the whole idea from the beginning? You saw the airport sitting out in the lake, and you thought there must be a business model in there?
Well, one airline did prosper there in the late 80s and actually grew traffic up to around 400,000 passengers. We thought that they had at least some of the elements of what could be make for a successful business plan. In our case, we came in 2006 with a very strong business plan, well capitalized. We actually have Don Carty as our board chair. He's an ex-chair and CEO of American Airlines. So, we really have built the airline from from a couple of airplanes now to 26, and it's well situated. And with last year we moved 2.5 million passengers. I think we've moved 15 million passengers as of a few days ago, and that number is growing. So
what really was the twist? You talk about the business plan. What are you doing differently perhaps than the airline that had the island before?
Well, when we started, we wanted to create something a bit different. We were, the original premise was business plan was based on speed, convenience, and service. But I think today what resonates best is the upscale level of service. We've received a significant number of awards and recognition over the past years for creating something a little bit different. It's a bit of a throwback to earlier times when flying was a bit more fun. So flight attendants have pillbox hats, and we serve complimentary premium snack, beer and wine, leather seats, a little bit more leg room. and of course the aircraft are quite comfortable with, you know, they're just all the way around an upscale aircraft. So we're trying to distinguish ourselves from our competitors, and for us, customer service is really what it's all about. And the close proximity that we have from there to a number of really strong U.S. destinations, along with some of our Canadian destinations, makes it an ideal hub for Porter.
So what finally brings you to Pittsburgh?
Well, Pittsburgh's an exciting city. I think it's growing, and it's increasingly a place where people want to travel to. For our part, we always had it on our network. We always planned to be here, which is a question of time. And I think we finally have got to a point where we had the available aircraft and we had the slots and the arrangements that would allow us to come into Pittsburgh. We got good cooperation from the airport. We really enjoy working with the folks at the airport. And I think we've started off with a couple of return flights, daily return flights. Saturdays, I think we do the one flight, but the rest of the week it's 2 return flights. And that's something I think we can grow over time, because we certainly believe that this is a market that has the potential to grow to additional flights, all connecting to points, not only Toronto, but beyond Toronto.
So that was going to be my last question. I mean, it's great to get to Toronto and the airport out on the lake and a 6-minute walk, but where can you get to beyond Toronto on Porter?
Well, Toronto is a great hub because you can certainly on Porter access Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City, Halifax, and of course we can take you to any of those destinations in Northern Ontario that people like to go to as well. So there's no shortage of destinations beyond Toronto, and it's a great city in its own right, but the opportunity to connect to points beyond makes the service from Pittsburgh to Toronto and onward quite attractive.
So you've got a few weeks under your belt. How's it going so far?
It's going very well. Since we started booking, there's been a steady increase in terms of number of passengers, and we continue to work with tourism and with business associations and whatnot to expose potential users in this area to the new service. And you know, I think in due course we'll be able to add additional frequency. This is starting out on a pretty strong note, and we like the way it's developing here at this point.
Well, great to have you. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Well, next up, we'll be back in the studio to experience another new way to get around, this time in an electric pedicab called the Autopod. Stay with us.